Alright, we're being asked to solve question 36 in the JAMB 2014 math exam. And we're told that we need to find the equation of a straight line through the point minus 2, 3 that is perpendicular to the line 4, 3 plus 3y minus 5 is equal to 0. As I've said before, whenever you're trying to solve the equation of a line, it's often helpful to have the slope of that line and a point. Well, we're given the point, but we're not given the slope directly. Instead, what we're given is the equation of a line that is perpendicular to the line we want. So let's see how that's helpful to us. If we had a line like this, which had a slope of 3, that means for every 3 points it moves vertically, it moves up 1. Well, my drawing is pretty bad here, but you should get the point. This is a line with a slope of 3. Well, what would a perpendicular line look like? Well, a line perpendicular to this first one would look like this. And for this line, what you will find, despite my terrible drawing, is that for every 1 point it moves over in the horizontal direction, it comes down 3. And so one of the things you notice is that the slope of the first line, let's call that M1, is equal to the inverse of the slope of the second line, except that the direction is different, and so you need a minus sign here. And I find it much easier to remember the formula as follows. Slope of 1 times the slope of the other one is equal to minus 1. So with that knowledge in hand, we now know that having the equation of a perpendicular line is helpful because we can now find the slope of that line, and based on that we can now find the slope of the line we care about. So let's go ahead and solve that. Okay, so we want to get the equation in the format of y equals mx plus b, and where we know that m is the slope. So let's simplify this equation a bit. 4x plus 3y minus 5 is equal to 0. If we subtracted 4x and added 5 to both sides, we end up with 3y is equal to minus 4x plus 5. And dividing both sides by 3, we get y is equal to minus 4 over 3x plus 5 over 3. This is in the y equals mx plus b format. And so we now know that the slope of the perpendicular line is minus 4 over 3. So all we have to do at this point is determine the slope of the line that we care about. And as I said before, the slope of the line we care about, let's call it M1, times M2, which is the slope of the perpendicular line, is equal to minus 1. Therefore, the slope of the line we care about is equal to minus 1 divided by M2, which is minus 1 divided by minus 4 over 3. Based on that, we know the answer of the slope is equal to 3 over 4. So now we're back to where we were hoping to be. We know the slope of a line and we have a point on that line. And with that, we should be able to find the equation of the line. So all we do is we plug in the points into a line formula. Y minus the point we have for y, which is 3, is equal to the slope, which is 3 over 4, times x minus minus 2, which is x plus 2. And so therefore y minus 3 is equal to 3x over 4 plus 6 over 8. So for this specific question, if you look at the options given in the answer, we are expected to provide the answer in the same format as the original question was. If you recall, the original equation was given to us in this format. At this point, we can claim to be done. The only problem is that when we look at the options given, the answer is given to us in a similar format as the equation in the question, which is all the constants are whole numbers, which is a formula similar to the following: ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. And so let's try to get this answer in that format so that we can figure out which one is the right answer. So just to simplify things, okay, so I just corrected a mistake I had in the previous step where I had written 6 over 8. This should have been 6 over 4. Okay, in any case, we're trying to get the answer in the format I've shown here. In order to do that, I would multiply the whole equation by 4 just to get rid of all those fractions. And when I do that, I end up with 4y minus 12 is equal to 3x plus 6. And then I'm going to subtract minus 3 minus 6 from both sides. And that's going to give me minus, and that's going to give me minus 3x plus 4y minus 18 is equal to 0. And when I look for that answer, I don't see it in the solution. But if you look carefully, you'll see that the answer in the solution is the same as this, except all the values are negated. So in order to get that answer, you have to multiply everything by minus 1. And then you get 3x minus 4y plus 18 is equal to 0. And that's the answer.